let me get in. Yeah, let me get in here real quick. I think just to watch the dialogue just play out the way that it did. One of the Kevin Samuels' biggest topics was that it is the victimhood of the woman. There's no situation in which a man can be the one being hurt. Right? There's some things that when he laid the framework for that entire discussion, especially after JR played the clip, he's basically saying in that situation, a woman can't be a victim. You see, and that is a situation, unfortunately, Western women are uncomfortable with. That is what I was talking about when I said he forced people to have the uncomfortable conversation. I can't be a victim. I could be hurting a man. The problems in my life could actually be my fault. The decisions I make void of a man are actually all my fault. He forced women to deal with that. It's like you making the decisions for your own life. You could be affecting your own, not you, die, but you could be affecting your own family in a negative way, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anybody's behavior but the woman. So that is what that particular clip I think was meant to do. And not only did I've experienced that, I watched it happen, and it goes back to that word we're always talking about in these spaces, which is accountability, right? We know every punishment, we know every action, behavior that we deem undesirable from men. All right. We know if a man do anything wrong, he going to jail. He losing his job. He's losing opportunities. He's losing friendships, relationships, etc. Everything in this world built for punishment is built to punish a man. And because we've been that way so long, women have no accountability for anything that they do, and they run to the victim role. All right. So what he was talking about was basically saying we have to stop this one-sided affair between men and women. I'm going to tell y'all how deep this goes for me. I got 2 kids, a boy and a girl. If my daughter hits her brother, which she's in that age now, I just hear him, I spank her first. If she hit him, does anybody know why I do that? He can hit her back. I'll get both of them. I spank her first because never in her life will she think it's okay to raise her hand against a man. Her hitting her brother will turn into her hitting somebody outside, and I can't control what happens to her when she hits somebody.
Did you just
she
say
does
your
not
son
know.
can hit your daughter back?
No, I said if he hits her back, they're both getting punished. She's getting punished.
I thought you said
first.
he could hit her back.
No.
I heard that wrong. Okay.
No. So I'm punishing her first. She needs to learn that she can never, her safety depends on men seeing her as a vulnerable figure. A woman that hits men is no longer protected by men. To be honest, when we see a woman swing on a dude, if he just swings back on you and knocks you to the ground, in our minds, we really think you got what you deserve.
Let me ask you this,
Dad. So we're trying to create, hold on, let me just say this. We're trying to create an atmosphere where men don't have to respond to the negative behaviors of women because women are not supposed to have those negative behaviors. You want to know why these Arabic dudes don't really be out here wilding? Because their wives would never try them like that. Some of the shit I've seen, I've only ever seen happen to black men. Some of the shit I've seen in public, I've only ever seen a woman disrespect a man in public like that. Right? My mom was a very, submissive wife. She had a lot to say, but she knew when to say that shit. She thought we were asleep behind closed doors. She let my daddy have it. You hear like, oh, they arguing. She would never do that shit in public. So we got to get back to that. People got to learn how to have decorum. When they have conversations. We got Remy Ma and Papoose tearing each other ass up. Like that's anybody's business but their own. We got to stop that shit.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I ask a question? You said that you mentioned Middle Eastern men have their wives in check. Is that do I have that right?
Yeah.
Go
ahead, roll. Go ahead. You might as well spin the chair, Sweeney. Might as well. Go ahead. Do a 360, baby.
All the way left. You gotta go left. Like all what he said, and that's what you wanted to address.
Just do a donut with me, baby. Y'all be so bothered when I turn that mic on. I love it.
All the shit he said, and that's what you want.
I love it. So the question I had is, the thing about the Middle East is it's very, very, very toxic as it pertains to women. I just had this conversation with a good friend of mine. Don't panic. He was like, "Oh, I can see you. You're gonna become a Muslim in like a year. You're gonna come home, blah blah blah." And I said, "I would never be a Muslim." And there are things that I admire about Muslims. I admire their dedication. I admire them, how frequently they pray, and their constant connection that they have with God. But the reason why I would never be a Muslim is because of the degradation of women, and specifically in the Middle East, they are very, very abusive, actually. So I found that caught my ear when you mentioned Middle Eastern men, because raping, for example, like in India, is like a huge issue, a huge issue. And in the Middle Eastern world, as it stands, women are in danger. Like, this is not, I'm not joking. Like, women are subjected to abuse, um, graping. They're subjected to essaying. They're subjected to genital mutilation. The list is so long.
So
So I
DJ,
find it funny
what-
that you're using Middle
She talking
Eastern
to me,
men
so let me
as the
respond.
standard of, oh, they have their women in check. At what cost? At what
All right.
cost?
So
okay,
let's
so you
take the Middle
interrupt me.
Eastern. Let's take the Middle Eastern out of it. What behavioral standards do you have for Western women?
Behavioral standards? That's a little vague. What do you mean?
No. A man is not allowed to hit a woman here, right? We're not allowed to hit women or we go to jail. Things
That's a
like
good
that.
thing.
Yeah.
You should not hit
Okay.
people.
All right. So what behavioral standards do you have for women alone? How do you think women should treat men in this country?
I think that in any standard, whether it's a man or woman, everyone should keep their hands to themselves.
No, just
The
for women. Just for women.
women
No.
should keep their hands to themselves.
Okay. How should women treat men, like in the household, with respect?
Of course. That's always the standard. In any scenario, women, men, children, everyone should be treated with respect. But if you feel disrespected, which women feel often disrespected, what do you think should be the response? I'm confused.
What do you mean? If I feel disrespected?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
What do you
no.
feel like should
Yeah.
be what do you feel like should be empowered with? If you had it your way, what would you empower yourself? How would you respond to disrespect
My
from
yeah.
a woman?
No, she got the right one. Choice. The one thing nobody can take from me is my ability to choose. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm leaving.
Okay. I like that.
Okay,
Good.
good.